Closer we to the open mark of the beast. 800-259-9231. First, Leanne McAdoo's report. I'll be back with your calls.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Year after year, we watch the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer. Using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science, this powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
We are on the march. The Empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is the X109B14 modified transistorized totally automatic assembly machine. Within 6 months, our entire production facilities will be totally automated. Ladies and gentlemen, from now on, Whipple will operate from a brain center with machines such as this one.
It used to be, 300 years ago that machines during the Industrial Revolution replaced blue-collar work, very easy-to-do jobs, and then those people got educated and got better-paying jobs. Today, instead, our machines are replacing not the muscle work, but the brain work, right? And when you lose that kind of job, the only place you can go in the economy is usually downward in pay scale.
We treat our fellow humans as machines when we make them do jobs that a robot could do, that simply require repeated mechanical motion, very little scope for the exercise of judgment, of very little scope for communication with other people, the things that actually make us human.
People love to talk to her. In fact, we've done a study where we saw that people disclose more information and feel less judgment, when they think it's a completely automatic system versus having a person.
I'm a third generation AX400 Android. I can look after your house, do the cooking, mind the kids. I organize your appointments. I speak 300 languages, and I am entirely at your disposal as a sexual partner.
The goal of RoboCup Soccer is that by 2050, they will be playing humans against robots, see who's actually better.
Maybe it can eliminate poverty, help us cure all diseases and so on. But like any powerful technology, it's important to ask, what can we do now to make sure we get these benefits while avoiding pitfalls?
I mean, Google is a search company. They're using AI all over the place. It's Siri on our phones. That's all just AI in the background of there. Yeah. And so we're going to see more and more penetration of these sort of uses that really help our lives and make our lives easier.
CareBots, what I call CareBots, that will do the dishes and keep track of grandma and let her have some control, even if she's got dementia, so that she can go on a walk and be steered back so she can decide what she wants for dinner.
And does the AI community concern itself at all with the future of human employment? For instance, I heard Dr. Russell kind of joke about, well, we'll just let the policymakers figure it out. So he's got a lot of faith, but this is something that's going to happen probably by 2045. A lot of the,
way sooner than that.
It's a difficult problem, and I was at a meeting where there were 5 Nobel Prize-winning economists, and all they wanted to talk about was this question. What's the future of employment and the structure of the economy when most of what we call work now is being done by robots? And unfortunately, even though that was what they really cared about, they had no suggestions.
You go to Japan and there's no one taking your order. You go to a vending machine and you order it. And obviously the Japanese economy has dealt with that.
Sapiens Plurum means the wisdom of many. And it is an organization designed to look out for the interests of humankind as technology develops. Because I agree with you that technology is a very powerful force that humans have created, but will humans continue to control it?
The unfortunate thing is that we kind of get used to hell. There are lots of things about our current world that someone 500 years ago would think of as a vision of hell, but we're kind of used to them. And
fighting to keep our... I must work in a cubicle 12 hours a day. How dare you make my life easier with AI?
Most researchers, most of my friends in the AI field used to think that, it's not going to happen in my lifetime, so it's a waste of time to think about it now. But we're seeing in 2015 now that a lot of things are happening that people thought were going to take much longer. And a lot of people are saying, maybe these things are going to happen actually in our careers. So now would be a great time to really start looking into them.
Could a weapons system blow up the world? Yeah, it could do it because the computer decides that's the right thing to do, but as far as I can tell, we are way more likely to have that happen when someone sits on something, like the red button.
Personally speaking, I think that the risk that we have from AI is not really of AI becoming autonomous and taking over the world. There's a much bigger risk that a person will use AI for bad purposes.
Privacy is a big thing, and thinking about what goals you give a program and what are the consequences of the goals, trying to get students to think into the future and to think more broadly than their individual program or robot, but what effect will that have on the people around, on the broader society?
If that objective is not perfectly aligned with the values of us humans, then that creates the possibility for bad things to happen, for that in some sense is the definition of conflict, and getting into a conflict with systems that are more capable than we are doesn't sound like a good idea.
And with any technology, when we invented fire, we realized after a while it was also a good idea to invent the fire department and fire alarms and fire extinguishers. The more powerful the technology is, the more urgent it is to actually also far ahead start thinking about how to get the best out of it.
If you have autonomous weapons, you're going to have an arms race of autonomous weapons, because once you have autonomous attack weapons, then you need autonomous defense weapons, because, you know, human reaction times are going to be too slow.
Once you build little drones with a lot of AI capability, it's very easy to make them. You just need a computer and some stuff you can buy on eBay and so on, and it'll be very difficult to keep them only in the right hands.
You know, for example, clouds of miniaturized flying robots against which it's impossible to defend. And you could imagine getting to a situation where, you know, the life expectancy of a human soldier would be 10 seconds on the battlefield, and life expectancy of a civilian, if a government used those weapons against its own population, would be, you know, 2 seconds.
And the key question is, will there be other new conflicts when these drones fall into the hands of ISIS and Boko Haram and so on? You know, the Kalashnikov is a good example of a piece of technology that everybody has now, right? Even the guys in Paris who did this horrible massacre against Charlie Hebdo. If weaponized drones become the new Kalashnikovs and everybody has them, I think that's really a net loss for humanity. I think we're going to see way more violence.
So we have to be very careful, I think, to distinguish between fears about autonomous AI suddenly rising up, overcoming its programming, which is an unlikely scenario, and people deciding to use AI for purposes that are either unethical or basically do not value human life in the way that we should.
And you could wipe out every inhabitant of a city in a few minutes for a few $1 million. This is just not a direction that I think we should go.
Because I don't think robots are going to decide to destroy the world. I just want to make sure that my students don't program them to destroy the world by accident.
Powerful report up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com from Leanne McAdoo. Again, I am your host, Alex Jones. And yesterday I was out because I agreed a while back ago. I'm not really ready to talk about the production. They told me I could if I wanted to. But it's a fun, pretty good budget movie with some pretty big actors in it that deals with basically traitors in the government and the NDAA and an attempt by the UN through government to take over the United States. It's like I'd almost say it's like America with a K with Chris Christopherson, but boiled down to a movie. And it's being directed by Chuck Norris's son, Mike Norris, who's a great patriot and big listener. And, of course, he's produced a lot of big TV shows and movies in his own right. Very interesting guy. It was amazing talking to him because, I mean, I knew that it was Steve McQueen got Chuck Norris into acting, and I knew that because I'd read the IMDb that he'd been involved a lot with the family, but he was saying, yeah, taught him how to ride a motorcycle, everything else. He's going to come in here sometimes because it's so interesting and tell some amazing stories. He said that no one's ever heard or had really been told. It was pretty wild stuff. A lot of fun. And that was just when we talked in the morning at breakfast, and then like 3 or 4 o'clock we had a late lunch, and they kept shooting until about 8:30 at night. And then I drove back from a town, really cool courthouse they were shooting these Senate hearing scenes in out in Meridian was the town. But I was talking to one of the producers who's a well-known guy. I've read about him in the Wall Street Journal and other places, really interesting. And he said I could talk about the stuff he was telling me, but, you know, and some of the stuff that, some of the other things. But, you know what, I'm just going to get Gary Haven in studio soon to relay these stories to you himself because it dovetails with some other intel that I've similarly gotten, and it's pretty exciting news. Here's an article. CPAC celebrates free market entrepreneurship with CEO whose company was built. And you know, the media trying to demonize him. But there's a lot of good news out there, but there's also obviously a lot of bad news. As I always say, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Mitt Romney's not running. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, that may just be another stunt. I mean, what does it matter? He's just another one of these milquetoast guys who even helped write what is now Obamacare and who thinks global warming is real. man-made global warming. I mean, he doesn't think that's real. That's what the big money backers want. Now, is he as bad as a Jeb Bush or a Hillary Clinton? No. Would I rather see Mitt Romney as president than Hillary Clinton? Yeah. But it doesn't matter. You know you'll get the same agenda. In fact, it might even be worse getting a Mitt Romney because he wouldn't be as bad. People would go back to sleep.